Pandora's box has been opened and another Fortnite season is almost upon us, which naturally means I unlocked the level 100 skin Valeria in one day. Fortnite split into the metaverse has seemingly also split up the XP among a bunch of unfinished games, turning this into the longest and most tedious season yet for this challenge. So dropping a like and subscribing would mean a lot and it would help me out. As always, these videos are inspired by Luke TheNotable, and this is now the 10th time I've done this challenge, so if you're new here, go check out the backlog. And with that, let's jump into game 1. I started out by using my epic rewards points from my main to gift myself the battle pass. I also bought the level up pack using code Zeywerks. I honestly wasn't sure where to go for game 1. At first I was gonna land on the train, but ended up going in the general direction of ruined reels. While I was there, I managed to get my first elimination on this bot, before talking to Oddesy for her snapshot quest. I got a kill with cluster clingers, and while trying to loot the ground, it started to shake, when suddenly, naturally, I decided to turn around and run away. While on my way through, I found an anvil rocket launcher and was able to get a related quest done. After traveling in a cardboard box and going up and down the ascender, which made my head inflate, I was killed at 22nd place. However, seeing the Peter Griffin emoticon appear gave me the strength to go on. Game 2, I landed on the train. There's a large variety of train-related quests this season. I think Fortnite thought it would be cooler than it turned out to be. I rode the train around the entire map, getting off at train stations to place peely signs and racking up 3 eliminations over the course of the ride. I finally abandoned ship when it started to go out of the zone. On my way back to the circle, I finished up a quest to slide on snow. Later on at Reckless Railways, I picked up a fight with the medallion holder. I knew before I died I needed to get some more challenges done, so I ran into the vault to apply an upgrade. But luckily the other player decided to run away. I died 2nd place trying to pop a big shield, leaving me at level 11. I hopped into Team Rumble for game 3, starting by successfully surmounting Superior Summit. I flew my way to Reckless to eat corn in the passenger seat of a car. Later on I had to fuel up a different car before collecting fish. Once the fighting started, I was completing quests like crazy, and by the time the game ended I was level 16. An easy Rebels Roost drop game 4. Got a kill on landing and then proceeded to game 5. I'm at some windmill, only here to dig up Mosaics for the Oddesy Snapshot. I got chased by a player into the zone towards Ritzy Rivera. I only went over there to bounce on an umbrella. Once I started to get some shots in, the player tried to flee, and I was honestly surprised I won the fight against them. But I couldn't savor the victory long, as I proceeded to get killed by a Legion bot while trying to do some ballistic shield challenges, landing Reckless Railway specifically for a challenge in game 6. I didn't stay long. I was directed to dig for more mosaics around the cemetery. Later on, I was able to enter a 3rd type of vehicle and land an amazing trick in it. I made my way around to the snow to start finishing up the snapshot. In the end, like usual, I just picked a fight with a better player, leaving me back in the lobby at level 23. Game 7 was another slower one, landing off to dig even more mosaics. That's all I'd end up doing, dying 32nd place. We're back in Team Rumble for game 8. I usually try not to switch around game modes, but bosses, vaults, and storm radars aren't in Team Rumble. I landed fencing fields, which instantly rewarded me with a style for Jonesy. I was able to search another mosaic before getting lost in the storm, which luckily left me on the final quest of the snapshot. I was trying to land direct hits with a grapple blade, but I wasn't able to finish it before that game ended. In game 9, I somehow got lost in the smallest name location of all time, but once I got my bearings, I was finally able to open my first weapon cases of the season. I was getting incredibly unlucky in the grapple blade and riot shield spawn rates, so I opted for sniping challenges. I unlocked Solid Snake, so I had to rock him in game 10. I finally got to talk to Oddesy and put an end to the snapshot, and that's all I'd end up doing. You can tell I'm mad from dying when I instantly switched to Team Rumble for game 11. I didn't even switch the skin. I went to Grand Glacier and Lavish Lair to fill up the map. This time I was able to find a ballistic shield and finished a couple of its challenges, sending me back to the lobby at level 31. I forgot to record game 12. All I have is this clip of the results screen after I noticed. Game 13, I dropped ruined reels to open the weapon cases. Spent a decent portion of this game reloading my shotgun for a challenge. After that, I focused on various combat related quests, like damage beyond 25 meters and in water. Respawning is why I prefer Team Rumble for combat tasks. It'd probably take me multiple games to complete something like SMG kills, but in Team Rumble you can easily get them all done in a couple of minutes. I went into squads for game 14, but I only ended up with one teammate. After we took out Montague, I kindly dropped the medallion to my teammate who proceeded to lag out of the game. While waiting for his corpse to spit out the medallion, I heard the footsteps of another player. I scanned for the vault and then looped around, which allowed me to get the jump on the enemy, finally putting an end to Naruto Uzumaki. On my way out, I decided to stop by the radar tower, and went for a snipe I probably shouldn't have. Game 15 was for boss cleanup. I landed at Fencing Fields, despite my squad dropping off somewhere else. I knew for the challenge I only needed to do damage to Nisha, so I made my escape. I was gonna get my team's reboot cards, but they all left the game, so off to Reckless I went, which was somehow unchallenged. I was able to take down Valeria and even get to loot the vault. The only boss I needed to eliminate was Oscar, but he died to the zone before I made it, though I used his medallion to enter the vault, which helped out with a couple challenges. I ran my way to the floating island to capture it from a hidden position. This helped out greatly as many different people started to appear, which got the heat off me and allowed me to capture. Although, if you forgot, this is squads, so back to Lavish Lair to eliminate Oscar in game 16. I got a quick kill on drop, but then, yeah, I didn't have faith in my teammates here. Game 17 went much better. I died early on, but my teammates took down Oscar, which still counted. Later on, I went on a solo mission to capture another radar tower. By the time I caught up with my team, it was the top 10. Things got intense during this battle, but while I stayed back doing nothing as I do best, my team led us to victory, sending me back to the lobby level 42 and one glider richer. I spent most of game 18 in a tower, waiting for the radar to go off. Once it did, I was able to scan the keycard before dying to the contesting player. Game 19 was arguably worse. I ran around trying to find a heavy variant of the guard, but died before completing the challenge. That's why in game 20 I was filled with determination from seeing the Peely saved loading screen. I jogged my way down to Fencing Fields and proceeded to not find any heavy guards and then die. Having achieved a new level of frustration, I switched to Team Rumble for game 21, just to finish up with the pistol kill challenge. Game 22 was a repeat of game 20, still unable to find the heavy elite. 22 games in and I'm almost completely out of challenges, and I'm only level 45. I'm gonna have to start branching out into the other game modes. I proceeded to play an hour of LEGO Fortnite, quickly doing some creative challenges before having to start a survival world. The end goal was to get a level 4 town hall, and yeah, it just took a really long time. It's hard to make gameplay of LEGO Fortnite look all that interesting. After I couldn't bear anymore, I left the game, having gone up 5 levels for my trouble. Now it's time for rocket racing. I don't want to talk about the 2-hour grind of getting to gold rank that I went through. The XP at this point was so dry that this was my only real choice. I hope next season they don't split up the XP so much. I don't think I can handle having to play these games again every season. 2 hours and most of my sanity later, I left my final rocket racing game at level 63, and having reached the 10-hour mark of this challenge. I finally found a heavy elite in game 23. Nothing else of note really happened that game, since I'm now completely done with the available challenges. Game 24 is where I finally am taking advantage of the level up pack. I traveled across the entire east side of the map, collecting all 28 tokens in one match. When I was finally back in the lobby, I was level 92. I wanted to take my seasonal detour into the pit, but the XP turnout was so bad that I didn't even bother. Game 25 was the final game, so I wore the real tier 100 of our hearts, Peter Griffin. It was an incredibly unremarkable Team Rumble game, but I was able to scrape one level out of it. I saw the clock reach the 11-hour mark, so I just figured with the V-Bucks I'd earned from the battle pass, it'd be enough to just buy to Valeria. Yeah, so this season's challenge wasn't the most fun or glamorous to complete. I hope Fortnite decides to beef up the XP a little next season and maybe keep it centered towards Battle Royale. I genuinely don't want to have to keep playing LEGO Fortnite and rocket racing every time I record one of these, because they decided to split the XP up and drive more hours out of me. Anyways, with that, you can technically unlock Valeria in one day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.